Uh, Next up, got Mississippi State at Texas, and Mississippi State acted like they wanted to win that ball game. 7-6 going into halftime. Uh, Final was 13-35. Trenton, what happened, bro? Your Longhorns let Mississippi State, the worst team in the SEC. Both of us got the worst team. Got them ranked as the worst team in our rankings. Y'all let them put up 13 at home on y'all. You're giving me shit about Tennessee letting Oklahoma put up 15 on them. Well, that's a ranked team that just beat Auburn in Auburn yesterday. Uh, y'all were tied 7-6 with Mississippi State, worst team in the SEC, going into halftime. With a quarterback's last name Manning playing for y'all. What are we doing? What are we doing? Trash.
Trash.
Absolute dog shit. Arch 26 for 31, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a good game. Arch looks. I'm not gonna hate on Arch. I am gonna hate on Texas though because of Trenton, because he says some of the most ignorant shit you ever hear in your life.
Trenton, your team sucks.
Thank you. Next up, you made the losers block. You made the chair. That's the chair of shame there, Georgia.
Tough game.
Uh, Movie. That was an absolute movie.
Comeback was crazy.
Yeah, I don't care who you like, who you don't like. That was college football at its finest right there. Alabama went up. What was it? 30-7, I think it was, going into half. And then Georgia come out and was beating them at one point, but there's a guy on Alabama's team named Ryan Williams, and he was not going to be denied yesterday. That dude balled out. Six receptions, 177 yards, and a touchdown. And Jalen Milroe, the first half of that game looked, he looked godly. He looked godlike. I don't think he had an incomplete pass that whole first half. Didn't throw any interceptions. Ran it when the pocket was collapsing and his wide receivers were locked down. Ran it good every time. Jalen Milroe looked absolutely amazing in that first half of that game yesterday. Carson Beck threw 2 interceptions that first half. Uh, he was the cause of a fumble. Like, he let a ball get knocked out of his hands that first half. But then we go into halftime and come out of halftime and complete opposite. Georgia's defense locked Milroe down, and he couldn't do anything. And Carson Beck just took off. Carson Beck went 27 of 50, which that's not. He was airing it out, and there was a lot of incompletes there. He still went for 439 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jalen Milroe, 16 carries for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's just on his rushing. Was crazy. What a game.
Carson Beck was finding some open players in the second half. Just kept moving the ball.
Yeah, oh yeah. He looked really good the second half. They took over, but then there's a guy named Ryan Williams alive and playing for Georgia or Alabama at 17 years old, and he was not going to be denied last night. Alabama pulls out the win, 41-34 in Tuscaloosa. Hell of a game. Georgia, you made the chair of shame though, because you did all that, come back for nothing. So I had to put you on the chair of shame. Ohio State at Michigan State. Ohio State beat Michigan State 38-7. Is anybody surprised here?
No.
Howard went 21 of 31, 244 yards and 2 touchdowns. Good numbers. Ohio State's 4-0, 1-0 in the Big Ten. Looking like they're going to be in the Big Ten championship without a doubt. Them and probably Oregon. I don't know. Michigan's acting like they want to win ball games and make that game too now, but then at the same time they almost let, I forget who it was, we're going to get into it, come back and beat them. Oh, this is great. Kentucky at Ole Miss yesterday. That was a noon game. Kentucky 20, Ole Miss 17. Ole Miss, you made the chair of shame. You let Kentucky beat you. Hey, Florida fans, you still want Old Lane? He can't even beat Kentucky, and y'all can't even beat Kentucky. You need to get Kentucky's head coach. You still want old Lane? You still on the Lane train? Dude can't even beat Kentucky at home at noon. What are we talking about here? You still want him? I hope you get him now. That's great. I love it so much.
Faking the injury.
Jackson Dart, 18 to 27, 261 yards with a touchdown. I still like Jackson Dart. Yes, I was. I will admit it, though. Everybody keeps calling me out on it. Hey, you're too high on Ole Miss. You're too high on Ole Miss. I was too high on Ole Miss, and they got exposed. They full-on got exposed. Kentucky just made it a dogfight the whole game, stayed in it the whole game, stayed competitive, and come out with a win. And hell of a game to watch. Hell of a game. That was a good game. Kentucky is 1-2 in the SEC, 3-2 total record. Ole Miss 4-1, 0-1 in the SEC. A lot of these guys are starting their conference plays and losing their first and second game. Not too good. Not too good. Oregon at UCLA, 34 to 13. Dillon Gabriel went 31 of 41, 278 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dillon Gabriel looks good, real good. That puts Oregon at 4-0, 1-0 in the Big Ten. They started conference play yesterday, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that UCLA joined the Big Ten also, and that makes UCLA 0-2 in the Big Ten. And next you got Illinois at Penn State. I took Illinois in the points at like 18, so I got that right. Penn State won 21 to 7. Illinois was the first team in college ball to go 4-0. They had the earliest game last week. Went 4-0 first. Really hot. Everybody had high expectations for them. They didn't lose bad. They lost by 2 touchdowns. They held Penn State to 3. Penn State didn't score anything in the second quarter. Scored a touchdown in every other quarter, though, the first, third, and the fourth. So there's that. Arizona at Utah. Man, this broke my heart. This broke my heart that Utah was on the chair of shame, man. Utah. I hate that. Because everybody knows how I feel about Cam Rising. I love Cam Rising. I think he's an absolute dog. That dude can play ball, and I think if he was starting Saturday, they'd have won the game because he's a damn good quarterback. Arizona goes into Utah, 10th ranked Utah, and beats them 23 to 10. Utah's backup went 20 of 40, 280 yards and a touchdown. Not bad numbers, but not Cam Rising. If Cam Rising was there, I think they'd have won. I didn't get a chance to see how Utah's defense played. They're usually pretty solid, but Arizona put up 23 points on them, so I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think they played that good. If Arizona put up 23 points, they probably didn't have a good game.
Apparently not, man. And I really hate that because, Tennessee's obviously my favorite team, but Utah, if I had to pick another team, they'd be up there on the list to pull for. I love Utah. Head coach has been there forever. Love Cam Rising. Hate that they lost. I had them going undefeated this year. Trent had them going 11-1 with a loss to Oklahoma State. So we were both wrong because they beat Oklahoma State, but they're not going undefeated. Shit. Minnesota at Michigan. This is what I was talking about. I don't have their helmet right here. I was just making sure I didn't. Michigan won, and they keep winning games. They're undefeated in the Big Ten. They're 4-1, but they try to lose this game. They only won by 3 against Minnesota, who's 2-3 and hasn't won a game in their conference yet. I don't know what they got going on. Michigan's like testing different waters to see, and they're doing it for the Ohio State game is why they're doing this. I think they knew they was going to win the game the whole time. They're trying this. What happens when we run this kind of high tempo offense? What happens if we run these run plays? This, that. You're going to see. I think you're going to see this a lot with Michigan. These close games that shouldn't be close because they're going to try all this different stuff to try and beat Ohio State I think this will be the 4th. It'll either be the 4th or 5th time if they do it. And if they do it, God, it'd be hilarious. That'd be so fucking funny. I think you're going to see a lot of this. I think that they know their defense is better than these teams, like good enough to shut them down. So offensively, I think they're trying a bunch of different stuff to see what to do uh, for that Ohio State game. Wisconsin at USC, Southern Cal, 38-21 USC. Wisconsin made the chair of shame. Wisconsin made the chair of shame. You stayed in it pretty good for the first half. You was up 21-10 going into halftime. Then didn't score any points in the second half. Wisconsin, what are you doing? You let up USC put 2 touchdowns in each quarter after that. You can't. Your defense shut them down, and then they just went to sleep in the second half. I don't know. Do better.
Didn't score out all third.
I don't think USC's that good. They could have got exposed yesterday, but Wisconsin screwed us out of that. South Alabama at LSU. LSU beat them 42-10. Is anybody surprised? Nussmeier 26-39, 400. God dang, 409 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't think anybody's surprised seeing that. Good job, LSU. You're hanging on for dear life. That 9.5 win total is looking a little bit better now, ain't it? Louisville at Notre Dame. I was really hoping Notre Dame was going to get upset here because I think, I know for a fact, if Notre Dame loses another game, they will not make the playoffs. And Louisville had the team to beat them. I mean, it was close, 24-31. It was close the whole game, but they didn't pull it off, so Notre Dame's playoff hopes are still alive, unfortunately. Clemson beat the hell out of Stanford 40-14. Klubnik went 15-31, 255 yards and 4 touchdowns. Pretty good numbers. That's about what it's looking like every time I open this computer up and I look at this. Klubnik doing the damn thing for real. It's that Game of Thrones shit. Iowa State at Houston, 20-0. Oh my God. Houston got embarrassed. They could have made the wall. I've got their helmet. It's way down there in the end. I could have made the wall, but I didn't put them on here. Oh well. Oklahoma State at Kansas State. I thought I had them up here. Kansas State 1-1 in the Big 12, 42-20 against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State keeps dropping games. They was undefeated until they started playing conference play, and they ain't won a conference game yet. Oklahoma State, you got to get it together. You could definitely play for a conference championship by who's in your conference, and you're not going to if you can't win a ball game in your conference. Do better. I don't know what to tell you. Oklahoma at Auburn. What a damn game. Auburn, you made the chair of shame also.
They wanted that win so bad.
Oklahoma was down 21-10 going into the fourth quarter, and then that quarterback just played lights out. He was doing stuff that, just looked amazing, and that's their backup too. Looked amazing. It don't show his numbers here. It's showing Auburn's quarterback went 21, 32, 333 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did what he was supposed to do. He just, I don't know, Oklahoma's defense woke up and their offense woke up, and they just was not going to be denied. Making 2-point conversions and everything to win that game. Hell of a game. Oklahoma is 1-1 in the SEC. Auburn is 0-2 in the SEC. BYU at Baylor. This was pretty funny, I thought, because everybody was like, "Oh, Baylor's mad. Baylor's mad. Baylor's going to come out hot. They're going to beat." Baylor couldn't beat Colorado. What made you think they was going to beat an undefeated BYU team? Yeah, Baylor, we're laughing at you. You're trash. BYU kept letting them come back till they'd get up like 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and then Yeah, Baylor would get within like 3 points, and they go up another touchdown and a field goal, and then Baylor would get within a touchdown, and then I mean it was just they kept letting them come back, but they couldn't ever get ahead at 34-28. Uh, Baylor's quarterback went 27 for 48, 324 yards with 3 touchdowns. Those are good numbers, but wasn't enough to beat BYU. BYU scored 21 points in the first quarter. Baylor just scored a touchdown every quarter. 7-1, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4. That's it. 28. BYU scored more than that in the first half. No, I don't know. Hell yeah. BYU is still undefeated. 2-0 in the Big 12. Arkansas at Texas A&M. I was hoping Arkansas was going to do the damn thing. Arkansas's quarterback went 23 of 41, 279 yards and a touchdown. Wasn't enough to beat Texas A&M though. Texas A&M is undefeated in the SEC right now. Looking better every week. Arkansas, you made the chair of shame. You was fighting hard. You was winning going into was tied going into halftime, but you was winning the first quarter, and then all you did was score a field goal in the second half. You got to do better. Offense got to keep points. Got to keep putting points on the board now. It's a must. Let's see here. Got 2 more to talk about. SMU made Florida State make the list again. Florida State is now 1-4, and it's well deserved and so funny to look at and laugh at because their fans were going crazy last year. You know, I'm suing this one, I'm suing that one, posting Kirk Herbstreit's address on Twitter because they were mad, blaming him that they're the reason that they didn't make the playoffs. Now you're 1-4, and you just got beat by a team that was Group of 5 last year, just come into y'all's conference, and it wasn't like they barely beat you. I mean, DJ Uiagalelei went 12 of 30 and threw 3 interceptions. And I was bragging on him coming into the season. Oh, Florida State might be good with no. I take everything I said about that kid back. He is not good. He is not good. SMU's quarterback went 16 of 23, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's pretty good. You got beat 42-16 by a Group of 5 team that was a Group of 5 team last year. I mean, that's horrible. I don't know what's going to fix you. I don't know if you need to fire your head coach or your quarterback or your defense or all of it. I don't know. It's horrible though. I think you're going to be on this list a lot this year.
Definitely need a better defense.
One win is crazy, dude. One win is crazy. Last on the list is the Knights, UCF. I'm not going to go into a bunch of stats on the game, but y'all let me down yesterday. Every chance that I get to laugh at Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders, I'll take advantage of it. And I had a chance to do it yesterday. If you could have pulled off the dub against Colorado yesterday, and you didn't. You let them come into your stadium and make you look stupid. They beat y'all by like 20 points. So, yeah, you made the chair of shame also, because I wanted to laugh at Colorado and Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders, and I didn't get to do that. So now I got to watch and see even more people talk, oh, Travis Hunter for the Heisman because they won another game. So now I got to see that even more, which is going to piss me off because he's not going to win it. He has no chance of winning it. When they win 5-6 games this year, he's not going to win that trophy. But I'm going to have to listen to that. You know, whenever they lose a game, you see that die down a little bit. When they win one, you see it come up. When they lose one, you see it die down. So I was hoping they was going to lose and was going to see that die down. But no, don't get to, because the Knights messed around, let them win a game at home against Colorado. So you definitely made the chair of shame, and that was just a little recap of the Week 5 slate. Do the updated SEC rankings tomorrow. That should be up Tuesday, and that's what we got. Let me check. This was In the Booth with Mr. Booth.
And Trey.
Y'all have a good rest of your day.